Yo, what's up, guys? Leafs lose 4-1 to the Colorado Avalanche, guys. An expected loss tonight, or this afternoon, shall I say, by the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys. After that horrendous start against the Vegas Golden Knights the other day on Friday night, you would think the Maple Leafs would come out any better. Nope. The Maple Leafs decided to have the exact same start they did against the Vegas Golden Knights today against the Colorado Avalanche. And it's incredible to me how this team here can never start on time. It's like I got to roll back the years to when Mike Babcock was coaching this team, and they always said, got to start on time, got to start on time. It just doesn't seem to register in this team's brains that you got to start when the puck drops in the first period, not in the second or the bloody third, And Jake McCabe, this guy here has had a rough couple weeks for the Leafs. Again, he turns the bloody puck over, trying to sauce the puck up the ice, turns the puck over. Brock Nelson is able to get a clear-cut breakaway, beats Joel Wall below the glove. 2 goals tonight. Joel Wall gives a bottom glove. Both goals were not very good goals, savable shots as well. But that first one I felt was savable. Joel Wall's got to make that save. Jake McCabe has been not playing well for the Leafs. Has been really brutal, if you ask me, in this hockey game. He was even horrendous on another play in the game where he couldn't hold up the puck at the blue line, and then McKinnon comes in on a 2-on-1, and then luckily enough, Wall was able to bail him out there that time, but not the first time. So, as we saw, Wall gives up that goal. It's 1-0 Avalanche, and I said to myself, here we bloody go, and I knew that Colorado was going to come in hot and heated in this game because they had gotten their asses handed to them against the Philadelphia Flyers 7-3 at home. And I knew Colorado had this game circled after we beat them in overtime not that long ago, 4-3. So I knew right away that the Avalanche was coming here ready to hand the Leafs an ass whooping. And that is what we saw at some points in this game, and majority of the first parts of the second period. But my God, man, the Leafs, again, sleeping in their own end. Like Brock Nelson getting his second goal of the game in the first period, wide open, right beside Joe Wall. Just exactly where Jack Eichel was for the first goal of the game the other night against Vegas. Brock Nelson's in the same spot there to beat Joe Wall, who is in an awkward position and makes it 2-0 Avalanche. It's like, why in God's name is this team so bad defensively? They had that good stretch for a bit where you get 10 points in 10 straight games, and then we're back to normal. This team here, guys, has shown how inconsistent they are, that they're not a great hockey team, that they're up and down too many times, and we've seen it in this homestead against great hockey teams that are going to be in the playoffs competing for the cup. So what we saw in that first and majority of this game at times was just signs that this Leaf team is just not good enough, And sure, the Leafs had chances to tie up this hockey game. Absolutely they did. But the difference between this game and last game is that Mackenzie Blackwood was in net tonight, or today and this afternoon. So he was solid, Mackenzie Blackwood. He made some massive saves for the Leafs. Joe Wall made some good saves as well, because this game could have gone out of hand. Thank God that Colorado's got a shit power play, or else this game could have gotten even worse. But Blackwood made some great saves himself, kept the Avalanche lead alive. Leafs had some great chances as well. Even in the second period to start the game, McMahon had a good chance. Matthews had a chance. Stetcher had a chance. Michelli had a chance. There was some ample opportunity to cut the deficit at times in this game. But Blackwood made some good saves. Colorado knows how to shut down the Leafs. The Leafs didn't have any old zone time. Colorado did a great job preventing the Leafs from getting any puck possession. Colorado's a great breakout team, as we saw in the third goal for the Avalanche. Colorado breaks out out of their own end. They find Jack Drury's wide open. Nobody's there to pressure him. And he's able to get a clean shot on Joe Wall to make it 3-0 for the Avalanche. And I'm thinking to myself, how is he so wide open? And how are the Leafs letting Colorado in so easily into their own end? I'm thinking to myself, my God, like how weak is this hockey team? How mentally weak are they at times? And to see how easily Joe Wall gets beat again, bottom glove. Like, my God, The Leafs couldn't bury their chances tonight. They had very difficult time burying their chances when they had opportunities, and Colorado buried theirs. But the Leafs handed them opportunities because they leave them wide open. You know, all of Colorado's goals were off mistakes the Leafs made. Too many times tonight. And that I've been saying it through this homestead. The Leafs shot themselves in the foot. And to give up a goal with a minute 07 left in the second period, you know, if you go into the third down 2-0 instead of 3, that's a different story. But to go down 3-0 to Colorado, you know, that team hasn't lost a game leading after the first. They're like 21-0-3 or something like that. There was no way in hell the Leafs were going to score 4 and beat this team. Not a chance in hell. Colorado knew they just have to keep the game calm, you know, not let the Leafs get too many high opportunities in the third, and then win the hockey game. Colorado only had 6 shots on net in the third. The Leafs sure had 13 and 14 shots the second and third, but the game was already over. Once again, too little, too late. The Leafs had great chances in the third as well, but Blackwood robbed them a few times. Leafs hit a post. You know, there was some chances. You know, they had an empty net for like 3-4 minutes, but Colorado shut it down. Even the Avalanche hit a few posts in this game. This game could have gone out of hand a lot earlier. But the Leafs got a little bit lucky, but still, the Leafs were not good enough again tonight. Again. The effort was too little, too late. And again, the team was not good enough tonight. You know, not enough puck possession in Colorado's end. Not enough shots on net. You know, the power play, sure, we got a late goal there by Max Domi to break Blackwood's shutout. Big deal. You know, the power play hasn't looked great as of late. Sure, they got 1 goal there, like I mentioned. You know, when you got Morgan Riley on the power play shooting pillows at the goalie, what do you expect? You're not going to score much. It's not going to happen, honestly. This team here, guys, they've hit a wall. They've hit a wall. They don't have any confidence in themselves right now. They're losing every game right now. They're losing to better teams right now. I said it. You know, after they beat Winnipeg, after coming back down from the Jets, in that game they were losing. You know, I said to myself, if they do not win a couple games on this homestead against playoff opponents, they might not make. This might be make or break for the playoffs. And look what happened. They've lost 4 in a bloody row on this homestead, guys. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? To lose to Minnesota, Detroit, Vegas, now Colorado. Those teams are all going to be in the playoffs. All of them. And this was a major test this week for the Leafs. And they failed all 4 of them. Now you got Buffalo on Tuesday. That's a very difficult game as well. Buffalo's one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the NHL the last month and a half. You know, and you're like 6 points out now. You are in big, big trouble here. You have really shot yourselves in the foot with the way the Leafs have played, just how horrible things have gone. Everybody's winning and they're not. And I understand that the Leafs have injuries. You know, you're missing some important players like Nylander and Tanev. And then you got Willie flipping off the camera. You know, this bloody guy, he's too much, Willie. I love him, but he's too much. I would be shocked if he didn't get fined by the team. I expect him to get fined for flipping off the camera. I thought it was funny, but at the same time, people are gonna say you're a professional. You can't be doing that, and I agree with that. But that's William Nylander for you. That's the type of character he is, and I expect him to get fined. If he doesn't, I'd be surprised. But can't be doing that, Willie. I love you, but he can't be doing that shit. And we're missing him dramatically since he went down by that freak bloody injury against Vegas for getting hurt through a celebration. The Leafs have been screwed. They've been screwed since he's been hurt. You know, him going down was the worst possible thing to happen right now for the Maple Leafs, guys. They are not playing great hockey right now. You've lost 4 straight on this homestead. Like I mentioned, Buffalo Tuesday. Then you got to go on a Western Canada road trip. Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Seattle. Those are not going to be easy games on the road. Those are not going to be easy games, especially the way how the Leafs are playing right now. They might even lose a few games. So this team here, guys, not playing good enough. You had some brutal performances tonight. Yeah, like Bobby Maman going -3. Tavares went -2. Stetcher went -2. Lawton went -2. You had a lot of guys tonight that just did not have a good night. Colorado was just the better team most of this game tonight. Sure, the Leafs were good in the third at times, had chances to come back. If you had just not given up that third goal, who knows? Who knows what happens? But Blackwood made some great saves. Leafs couldn't bury their chances. They're just not playing great right now, guys. It's very frustrating right now, to say the least. I can't explain this hockey team. Berube and Treliving, I'm telling you guys right now, they are going to be in big trouble this offseason. They probably won't be here next season if this team doesn't make the playoffs. And right now, guys, the Leafs are on the outside looking in, and it's not looking good for those two up top. Treliving is getting a lot of heat right now for building this team, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. This team just isn't good enough. You know, Berube, you know, with the system in play, the questionable call to start Stolars the other night, he had to make line changes tonight to change something up, guys. But at the end of the day, it didn't do anything. The Leafs got a lot of injuries right now. The Olympic break can't come soon enough, honestly, because not only do they need a break, I think us fans need a break right now. I think us fans are more enjoying shoveling snow right now than watching the Maple Leafs play hockey right now. I know I was. You know, and there's like 30 centimeters outside right now, for Christ's sakes. And people are going there to watch this hockey team play and put out that performance. God, I feel bad for people that trekked all the way down to Scotiabank in this bullshit weather to go watch that bullshit. I'd rather deal with that shit outside than deal with that shit watching the Leafs waste my 2 hours and waste all the money that you're spending to watch that hockey team play right now. I think you guys would agree with that. No, but honestly, guys, really bad performance again tonight by the Leafs. You know, just not getting performances right now by your best players right now. You're not getting performances by the team in general. You're on a horrendous homestead right now. Things are looking bleak. You got to go on a road trip after that as well. Things are not looking good right now, guys. We'd love to hear your comments and opinions. If you did go to that game and you are home now, hope you got home safe. Freaking, you know what, man? Enjoy shoveling that snow, because man, oh man, there's a lot out there. So, guys, be safe out there. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, we'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. So click like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go as always, guys, I guess, right? We'll see you guys on the next episode of Leafs Unfiltered, guys. Ciao.